Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here right on Clemhawks, and today we got an Edmonton Oilers video happening. But first, before we get started, hit that subscribe button and that like button for more NHL and MLB content on this channel, and possibly more going to the NFL and the soccer league in Europe, their football. But let's get going. Like I said, an Oilers video. And one of the names has been linked to the Oilers for, I gotta say, about 2 months now, give or take. Another new name has came up, and with Ken Holland's press conference on TSN 1250 or whatever it is here in Edmonton, he was talking about how he wants to bring in a couple of undervalued guys on one-year deals, but first he has to take care of some business. So that made me think, well, taking care of some business, that means clearing some cap room out. There's guys like Warren Fogel's name's been out there. Even though Jesse Puljujärvi has signed a contract, a 1 year with Edmonton, his name's still been thrown around there. Another name we could possibly see is Tyson Barrie. He's a third-line defenseman right now. Did put up a bunch of points. I'll get to those points later. I think it was 41 and 72 last year. But a lot of those were power play points. Him defensively is not really the answer for the Edmonton Oilers. As well as you got a young guy in Evan Bouchard who could potentially take that top power play unit away from Tyson Barrie. Then we're paying a guy $4+ million to be a third line pairing D and a couple penalty kills here and there. That's not really worth it. That would be another way out. Because the Oilers still have to sign Ryan McLeod. There's no doubt in my mind Ryan McLeod's coming back. Just the Oilers are just over the salary cap right now. Even with LTIR money, they're just over that. So they need to move some salary cap. And the Tyler Benson deal, I believe it was yesterday, kind of proves that, if they do decide to move two forwards out, Tyler Benson can be the 13th, 14th forward. Likes of Phil Kessel, like I said, being talked about going to Edmonton, could fill in that spot, Warren Foegele. And you might go look at Phil Kessel's numbers and be like, why do we want this guy? He's older. He hasn't produced since leaving Pittsburgh. But in reality, let's just face the fact, he was in Arizona. Okay, yeah, you got Clayton Keller and Chikrin. But who else do you really have there? You got Smoltz, I think's there. Lawson Krause. But those aren't high-end players. Like, Keller's up there, but not as high-end as McDavid or Draisaitl or a guy like Hyman that gets to the dirty areas and fishes for those loose pucks. A team like the Edmonton Oilers, a contender, can really turn a guy around, and that's what a lot of people are saying is if Kessel does go to Edmonton, hey, this guy can produce. We've seen it. He can score 30 goals. He can have 90+ points in a season, which I'm not going to say it will happen. But 60, 70 is a possibility playing alongside McDavid or Draisaitl being a right-handed shot is a possibility that the Edmonton Oilers could take. Now, I'm not going to get into trade scenarios here. I'll do videos for each of these guys. Warren Foegele at 2.7. It was to get rid of Bear because our prospects are coming up on defense. And at the time, it was the right move. You knew Evan Bouchard was making that step. You knew there was Cody Ceci on the market, who is a step up from Ethan Bear with experience. You knew Proberg is going to be up here soon. What about Niemelainen? A lot of these spots are taken now by guys like Tyson Barrie, who ultimately, if I don't think Proberg will be there this year, but next year he will be. So the Oilers need to figure out, do we keep Barrie for another season, or do we go after a guy like PK Subban, who We could get on a 1-year contract. He's out the door. We don't have to worry about trading Barry next season. And Proberg has a spot, can earn an NHL spot. Look at Niemelainen, came in this year, hitting galore. The guy is phenomenal defensively. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the 6th, 7th defenseman this year. And then you got a guy like Brett Kulak, who ultimately came in and revamped the Edmonton Oilers defense, or bottom of their defense, and, you know, Edmonton native there, around the Edmonton area. He's a solid pickup, solid third-line defenseman that could pass the puck. Now you go to Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi is an interesting one. Do you keep him? Yes, his 5-on-5 numbers are great and everything, but does he fit on a line now with McDavid and Kane or Draisaitl and Hyman? Realistically, I don't think so. I think the Yamo, McDavid, Kane line was our best 5-on-5 line after Kane arrived. Now, do you play Nuge as a third-line center, or do you send him up with Hyman and Draisaitl? That's a possibility. Once you sign Ryan McLeod, who has proven he can be that one guy, the third center, now all of a sudden there's no room in your top 6 for a guy like Jesse Puljujärvi. But if you get a guy like Phil Kessel, you can move Nuge down to the third-line center role, have a 3-headed monster like the Pittsburgh Penguins did back in the day with Crosby, Malkin, and Stahl, and go on with that. So bringing PK Subban and Phil Kessel in on 1-year deals isn't actually a bad idea in the Oilers sense of things, because you get a guy who is capable of scoring 20-plus goals a year, playing with decent guys. As we'll go look at his stats here, that's in Phil Kessel. And the guy has scored 399 goals, 557 assists. He has 956 points in 1,204 games. In Pittsburgh, playing with Crosby. 26 goals, 23 goals, 34, 27. Yeah, he went to Arizona, scored 14. He scored 20 in Arizona. This guy can produce, but you look at playing with superstars over his career. For Pittsburgh, in 82 games, 59 points, 82 games, 70 points, 82 games, 92 points, 82 games, 82 points. You put him with a guy like McDavid and Draisaitl, this guy's going to score us points. I get he's 3 years older from that time. You know, maybe he can't keep up with McDavid. He could probably keep up with Draisaitl. But even if he scores 60, 70 points, Edmonton's offense is already one of the best offenses in the league. And you add a guy that can score 20-plus goals playing with superstars. You even look back in his Toronto days. He had 30, 32, 37, 20, 37. When he came in the league, 11, 19. His third season, he had 36 points playing with Boston, or 36 goals. This guy is a proven goal scorer, and I believe this would be a great move if you can move out Warren Foegele and or Jesse Puljujärvi and the whole PK Subban. Yeah, okay, his numbers aren't as good offensively as Tyson Barrie, but like I said, Tyson Barrie is on the top of Edmonton's power play, which has ranked top 3 over the last, 3-4 years? I'm sorry, but when you have guys like McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice, anyone that could pass the puck and play D and get Draisaitl as one-timer is going to get points. So why not throw Evan Bouchard on there? He shoots the puck. He knows how to shoot the puck. Not dissing on Tyson Barrie's power play stuff, but wouldn't you rather, cut your ties with the guy making $4 million playing third-line D and first-line power play for a guy that plays second-line, possibly first-line D, and makes less, that actually shoots the puck, can maneuver around guys? Like, walk the line as good as Evan Bouchard can, I'd take that all day. I love Evan Bouchard. He's one of my favorite Edmonton Oilers, which might be biased, but you look at PK Subban, who in 77 games had 22 points last year. He was only a -8. And you take a look at Tyson Barrie's stats, he was +3, but playing with McDavid and Draisaitl, that helps a lot. But defensively, Tyson Barrie is not really the answer the Edmonton Oilers are looking for defensively. And you need your third pairing to be that shutdown defensive pair, which Kulak is. Kulak and Russell would be great together. But that's just me spieling on. I believe that, with the additions of Campbell, our goaltending's better. Him and Stuart Skinner. Kane, Kulak coming back. We're waiting on Kane's hearing. That would be great. And what happens if Kane actually loses his hearing? Then the Oilers still have to make cap room, and that might be where the whole Tyson Barrie trade comes in, and you sign PK Subban as well. Because if you have to get Evander Kane from San Jose, well, they're going to just give him up. They don't want him for like a 7th round pick or a player or something. You're going to have to trade Tyson Barrie to pay Kane his extra $2 million on his current deal with the San Jose Sharks if they do say he was wrongfully terminated. So that's a possibility of how PK Subban could become an Edmonton Oiler too. But I'm just going to keep rambling on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I hope you guys have a great day. Who knows, maybe there'll be a live stream with Dolany TV and I. He is in Edmonton here near me. Possibility. You guys stay safe out there. Have a good one.